So yesterday, jhanks22 sent me a tweet, and her tweet was Rose Reynolds' tweet. And Rose Reynolds had tweeted out 3 photos of Alice. And I gotta say, I'm very impressed with how she looks as Alice, both in Hyperion Heights and in the Enchanted Forest version 2. Now, speaking of version 2, I'm still very, very concerned with the plot of version 2. However, plot concerns aside, Once Upon a Time has 2 saving graces, and those saving graces would be its acting and its costume design. Acting's always really good on the show. There's a few exceptions, in my opinion, Hades, Hercules, but costumes always look really great, and I gotta say, I really like how she looks as Alice. Though Alice is kind of a hard character to screw up with her outfit, because it's generally, a blue dress, a white apron, blonde hair, and blue eyes. So Rose Reynolds appears to have brown eyes, but the eyes is a irrelevant thing. In Harry Potter, Harry was supposed to have green eyes, but Daniel Radcliffe has light blue eyes. So again, irrelevant with the eyes. But Alice is known to be blonde and wears at least a blue skirt, because she has a brown bodice on here. But point being is, I feel like I'm looking at a really good interpretation of Alice. Now, with Once Upon a Time, I wasn't a huge fan of their version of Alice. I wasn't even a very big fan of Alice from the live-action Wonderland movies. So maybe this is the real Alice, the true live-action interpretation of Alice, because from the looks that Rose Reynolds is giving, I'm very impressed. Like I said, acting is always a saving grace for Once Upon a Time. So I really do like just the facial expressions that she's giving here. Now, the photo I'm really interested in is her Tilly version. And I say that kind of oddly, because what I like to see, and I think what all of us like to see, is their Enchanted Forest versions, because we want to see how these characters go from animation or from the book to live action. But she looks like she's up to something, and she looks like she's homeless in Hyperion Heights. So I'm really curious to see what she's up to, who she's spying on. It's pretty cool. And in terms of the costumes, the Alice costume is just 100 times better. But, in Hyperion Heights, she looks, devious and suspicious. But in Wonderland, she looks like she's going to be very serious and kind of, tricky and devious is relatively the same thing. It's maybe some of those qualities we're able to transfer over if the curse does wipe their memories. But in Wonderland, she just looks like she's really, really strong, and she knows what she wants, and, she's going to get it. Like, I love... Face acting is a great thing, and I love the face acting here. Once Upon a Time always has really good actors who can do the face acting, and I think Rose Reynolds is no exception to that. So overall, I really do like the costumes. I wish we actually got to see more of the Once Upon a Time or the Enchanted Forest version of the outfit, but, just from the way her hair looks, from the cloak she's wearing, from the bodice to the classic blue skirt, she looks great. And again, she's in Hyperion Heights, and she's homeless, so who knows or I'm assuming she's homeless. She's on a rooftop. Generally, characters on rooftops are spying on someone, and they are generally up to no good, so I'm really curious to see what's going to be going on, with her plotline in both directions. As I said, not a huge fan of the version 2, because I'm nervous for the plot lines and whatnot, but I guess of all the characters for Once Upon a Time to redo, Alice would be one. However, I'm okay with recasting. Recasting is fine. Like, if this is the same Alice that's already gone through her development from Wonderland, I'm fine with that, because, her story is still intact. They just had to change a face. That's totally fine. Recasting is fine. Version 2, that's where issues lie. And she doesn't look super similar to, the Once Upon a Time's original Alice as actress, but, she has the blonde hair, she has this blue skirt. Like, it's the gimmick. She's living the Alice gimmick. So again, if this Alice is from Enchanted Forest version 1, and she ended up in version 2, because Alice does travel worlds, I would totally be okay with that plot. And I'd be actually less concerned because, Diana Ramirez isn't Jesse Chastain. That's not a recast. That's a version 2. But it's very possible here that this is just a recasting. They recast Davio in Game of Thrones. They've recast plenty of actors. They recast Jafar in Once Upon a Time. So it's totally fine to recast and keep the character's backstory, just have a different face. So I would totally be fine with that. But like I said, costumes look great. The facial expressions she's giving off is great. So I'm really curious to see where she's going to end up. And again, thank you, jhanks22, for sending me these tweets. Alice was a character who I really want to see, because in the video I made yesterday, you know, I wasn't digging the Tilly's photo because she just seemed kind of like a background character with a face. Here, she's up to something, and we get to see her fairy tale background and or fairy tale outfits. And the fairy tale is, like I said, what we want to see because that's, you know, how we're used to the characters. The real world version of the characters is just extra for us to look at. So anyway, what do you think of Rose Reynolds' interpretation of Alice, at least from these photos? We still have to see her in the episode to get a feel for it, but I'm really liking what I see, and I have a lot of faith in Rose Reynolds. I have faith in the cast and directors of Once Upon a Time. I still have faith in the writing. I have a lot of faith in this show. I'm very concerned. I'm very, very concerned with it being on Fridays, and again, losing the actors, and again, the version 2s. But like I said, if this Alice is not a version 2, but just a recast, totally cool with that. I think that would be absolutely fine. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and if you guys have like a question that you want me to answer in these videos, I know I don't have like a set schedule with releasing, but send me questions, and if you want me to answer it in a video, I'll try to do that. I'll make a little section at the end so we can discuss a theory. We can discuss you can tell me something about the business that you want me to talk about. Anything. Send me questions. Snap is generally the best place to get to me because I'm always on that, or you can even Instagram it to me. Honestly, anywhere. YouTube, it's a little messy to get like a question, but if you want me to include a question segment in every video, more than happy to do that because I think we can have a lot of fun discussing once season 7 because there's a lot to discuss. We've been having a good time discussing it since May. So, you know, shoot me your questions and I'll try to include at least one in every video going forward. If you guys want to. Obviously, completely up to you. It's a viewer choice. So anyway, if you want to send your questions, please do. Send it to Snap. Probably the best choice. What do you think of Rose Reynolds' look of Alice? Because I like it. It's a thumbs up. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk real soon. All right, guys. Bye.